What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to What's the Verdict, a show where I give you my verdict MMA picks for the upcoming UFC card. This weekend we have UFC 314, Volkanovski vs. Lopes. I'm going to be talking about the top 4 fights on this main card, and to start us off we have Bryce Mitchell vs. Gene Silva. If Bryce Mitchell can survive the early onslaught from Silva, his chances of winning increase dramatically, and I believe he will do so. I think he's going to be able to implement his grappling later in the fight and get the finish on the ground. Gene Silva has amazing striking, and if he can't get the KO, I think this fight is all Bryce Mitchell. My verdict MMA pick is Bryce Mitchell by submission in round 2. Next we have a very intriguing matchup in Yair Rodriguez vs. Patricio Pitbull. Pitbull's making his UFC debut in a highly anticipated matchup, and I think this fight is going to be an absolute war. Both men are incredibly exciting, and Pitbull has a wealth of experience. Yair has some of the flashiest striking in the featherweight division, and I do believe he will be the bigger man, and probably quicker. For that reason, I think that Yair Rodriguez is going to come out on top with a late finish or by unanimous decision. My verdict MMA pick, though, is Yair Rodriguez by unanimous decision. Moving on to the co-main event of the evening, we have a very highly anticipated matchup in Paddy Pimblett versus Michael Chandler. This is also set to be an absolute war. This card has several matchups that could lead to fight of the year, and I'm incredibly excited. We haven't seen Paddy Pimblett go the full 5 rounds in the UFC, and we all know that Chandler brings the fight no matter how long it is. Chandler will obviously be the aggressor in this fight, and Paddy will be floating around trying to find his openings. Paddy is slick, and Chandler brawls. If Paddy doesn't get cold clocked, he wins this fight by submission or decision. I want him to get the sub, but my verdict MMA pick is Paddy Pimblett by unanimous decision. Now moving on to the main event of the evening, this is one I have a lot of stock in. I was at Diego Lopes's debut and was immediately a huge fan. I've got Diego Lopes t-shirts, made a video months ago on why I believe he will be champion one day, so it's no secret that I'm picking him for this fight. Volkanovski will obviously be the toughest test that Diego has faced, but I think he's going to pass it. Much like Brian Ortega, Lopes poses a significant grappling threat to Volkanovski. I think Lopes has a much more significant submission ability and grappling aggression than Brian Ortega, which I think in the long run should wear Volkanovski out and allow for more openings in the striking, which, don't forget, Diego Lopes also has super heavy hands. We saw that in the Sadiq Youssef fight and in the Brian Ortega fight. I think this fight goes long, and Diego Lopes has the ability to finish it in the later rounds, but my verdict MMA pick is Diego Lopes by unanimous decision. As I said before, this fight has some of the most intriguing matchups that we've had on a card since probably UFC 300 or UFC 308. Regardless of the outcomes, this fight card is going to be a banger. This has been What's the Verdict from DailyTapouts FC. Thanks for watching.